Warrior, sound the alarm. No one is talking about it. I mentioned it briefly the other day. It is still falling on deaf ears, but I think it's worth a mention. So I'm joining you late at night because I want to make sure I don't forget to tell you about all of this. It is routinely told to the public that human trafficking is a $150 billion business. Now, I have seen that figure for, I don't know, the last 4 years perhaps. I see 150 billion cited in many reports, 150 billion cited in speeches people give, 150 billion cited on many websites. And a little known report came out from the NASDAQ 2024 Global Financial Crime Report back in April. So not even 2 months ago. And they put that figure at 350 billion. So people have been saying for the last few years, 150. I remember saying last year, before this global report came out about the 350 billion, we know it's escalating, all of this exploitation, this trafficking. Therefore, the money must be, changing, going up. Nobody addressed it. Nobody talked about it. Nobody looked at it. So this little known report, and I said to a couple of people, then I just kind of gave up lately, you have to change your websites because it is 350 billion. We also don't know, the figure forever was given out, 40.3 million across the globe are trafficked. That's 5 years old. Another little report was put out. And this was probably about 6 months ago. Well, we think it's 50 million. Now, remember the Warriors' rule of thumb. We always tell you whatever stats, studies, the numbers when it comes to human trafficking, sexual exploitation, they're always higher. Because this is a business, and I call it a business because it is not being stopped. It is making too much money. People always ask me, why is this happening? Why is this allowed? It makes money. Remember, chaos makes money. Potholes here in New York City make money. So if you fix them, somebody's out of a job, right? Just think about it. So I'm the only one talking about this figure of 350 billion. So we know it could be, for all we know, it could be $1 trillion because this is an exploitation, a human rights abuse that operates in the dark. So I just want to make everybody aware that it's 350 billion that is quoted financial crimes. It's much, much higher than that. As far as 50 million, much, much higher than that. I also want to share with you today that I attended, sponsored by our colleagues, Coalition Against Trafficking in Women, right here in Times Square. That's why the jackets come off, because I just got home and it is thick as pea soup, as my mother used to say out there. And it was a very informative discussion about the sex trafficking crisis in New York City and beyond. And it was we focus here, and we always will, on all of these abuses happening in the United States, because I want to empower us, our children, our communities. But it is always, always necessary to hear from anybody who is working in this field, who has experienced any of this exploitation, who can bring a new perspective. Or, as I at the Warriors have been rallying for, we need coalitions coming together. Now, we do have that with our New Yorkers for the equality model. I want to point out, if you are in New York, you got to sign on to our call to action, equalitymodelnewyork.org. If you're not in New York, I want you to read about the equality model, because we just want to help prostituted people and hold those responsible who cause harm. That's all it's about. Taking away nobody's anything, body autonomy or anything. We know the people, the victims, the prostitutes report to us that anywhere from 91 to 97% want out of the sex trade. So the equality model will handle that. But today's conversation in Times Square was very interesting. We had Dr. I want to say her name very correctly, and I'll be interviewing her very soon on our Warriors channel right here, Dr. Soe Agatis, because I said to her before we went into the conference room, I said, pronounce your name for me. I want to make sure I say it the right way. So it's Esohi Agatis. This is doctor. And comes from Nigeria. So she lent a whole new perspective of her work. She's also a trauma-informed therapist, which go hand in hand with this work of trafficking, and was telling about how horrific, they get into in Nigeria, the Santeria, all these other kind of rituals to enslave the women. And the women have to go through this whole process, and this is a family show, so I'm not going to go through it, of what they do and what they have to promise. And when they go through animal sacrifice and all these other horrible things, remember, they are so poor, they are so vulnerable. Then they will be allowed to travel, perhaps, to a place like Italy to work. So it was very interesting to hear her perspective. I am looking forward to interviewing her. But I want to tell you what I'm telling you is because we are entering into the summer months. We're here, the summer vacation. More kids are at home, spending more time online. Means so are the predators. I will never be able to say this to you enough. Since you probably bought your child that phone, you pay for the internet, the routers, you need to get on top of controlling, protecting. I'm going to use the word control because I've had people say to me, I don't like that word. I don't like. You know what? You better, because right now the predators are controlling everything. So we always advise you, check daily lynswarriors.org for updates. Sign up for our newsletter. We have a new one going out shortly. Our recommended reading, educate yourself. Because the artificial intelligence that is here is a runaway train. And we want all of you not to be overwhelmed. We want you to be able to face this head on, this predation, because it is never going away. The best we can do, and this is the reality. I don't like telling you this, but I must, because we are truthful at the Warriors. We must intervene and protect. And we can only do that if we share the knowledge, if we share the tools for you to take action and protect our precious children. So don't let those kids spend every second. I don't care about the dirty kitchen floor, the dirty laundry. You have to clean the bathroom. You're too busy yourself online. You better be watching about all of this. Because remember, our children are our future adults, our future leaders here in the United States. They are being so habituated and normalized to this whole sex trade, this horror. And I say that because I think about the families that report to me, whether it's East New York, Corona, Queens, Flatbush, now College Point, that any time during the day, during the night, men are approached. They could be holding their child's hand, bringing their child, to the local pharmacy. It is so brazen, the sex trade. And they hand out cards. They'll deliver girls, they'll deliver women. And this is going on all around us. And the kids are seeing this. This has to affect them one way or the other. It is not okay to buy another human being. So we need to stand up, fight appropriately and peacefully as warriors for our communities, for our children. So keep an eye on the kids as we enter into these summer vacations. Get out with nature. Talk to them. I am begging you. Kids are smart. Talk to them. And understand that while all these other issues are going on and all this noise is being made, our borders are wide open despite any executive orders. You can rip that up and throw it in the garbage can. It means nothing. Because the children, the unaccompanied minors at the border have not been addressed. Where are they going? Are they working in car factories and farms and dangerous jobs and lumber yards? Yes. That's labor trafficking. Are they sex trafficked? Definitely. Nobody's talking about them and helping them. It's interesting because at this meeting today, I was discussing the border with somebody, and they actually brought it up to me, and they said most likely every girl and woman who has crossed into our country has been raped. How shocking is this, that we're allowing this? I shouldn't say we, because I'm not allowing it, and I know you're not allowing it, but our government is complicit, hand in hand with these criminal cartels. And once these people get here, they're held in debt bondage, which means they have to continue paying the cartel to live here. What is this? This is the United States of America. Start standing up. It starts with you in your home with your children. It is the beginning of June. School's going to be out. I don't care what you have to do. The kids have to become the number one priority. Remember, follow us on Twitter, Facebook. Subscribe to these videos. Hit the like bell so you'll be notified. Share the information. When I say to you 350 billion, for all we know, it is, I will say again, could be $1 trillion. It is untraceable, we can't track all of this. I'm going to leave you with one thought, though. Tech experts tell me there is the technology to shut down all of this predation. I'm not a tech expert. I don't pretend to be one, but I do rely on people who are. So why isn't all of this CSAM, child sexual abuse material, shut down? This is not about banning adults. But when I hear, and make sure you watch my video I did about Elon Musk and about X, Twitter, the new OnlyFans, putting X-rated nudity content, which they say will be, it has to be consensual. It will have a tag on it. Come on now. The demand is for children, and children videos are already on Twitter, and this will just increase the power of the predator. Make sure you watch that video, because in the body of it, I explain how you contact Twitter. It's not like you can pick up a phone and complain to customer service. They make it very murky. So there's different links where you can write to them. And I urge all of you, that is a Warriors Take Action. We're not going to allow this on our watch, and neither are you. Lynn'sWarriors.org. Thank you, everybody. Keep up the good work. We have a lot of great things happening. But we need each and every one of you. And remember, today and every day, go out and be a warrior.